Hey guys, Norell here with TBF, and I'm actually making this video because I recently dropped a music video I produced, and when I say I produced it, I mean I produced it with Xander, the other half of TBF. We make the band famous. Together we made this video, we directed, edited, did all the special effects that you see, everything that you see we did top to bottom. It was recorded in St. Paul. It features our friend, Minnesota guitarist Edwin P. Scher. All of the footage that you see was filmed in Minneapolis at some locations that you can try to name them in the music video comments. If you check it out, I'll have the link in this description. We released it on Prince's birthday for many reasons. The song was recorded in St. Paul, Minnesota. Our band itself, we actually sort of accidentally live streamed our birth. So the whole formation of our becoming a band, we were live streaming without even knowing it. And so it was a really interesting experience. And it's part of how we came to make TBF and make the band famous. So anyway, we released this song on Prince's birthday for free as sort of our tribute, our way to pay homage to him for all the inspiration. And also, since we do come from Minnesota, our band came from Minnesota, it was made in Minnesota, and the whole song video made in Minnesota with love. And we've got a lot of positive responses, and I want to say thank you to everybody who has, and everybody who took the time to not only watch but give a thumbs up and let us know why you gave it a thumbs up with some comments. We are always trying to get better with every production. But that being said, we've also had some complicated responses, and I'm not going to name any names or go too much into detail, but it's sort of puzzling to me. I will say, as one example, several years ago, I was recruited by someone in Minneapolis, Minnesota, to do vocals for a sort of parody for this media project, and I did so for free. I wasn't compensated, but it was a really fun experience and wacky, and something that I was proud to be a part of, and I was happy to share, as I'm still Facebook friends with this person who reached out to me, recruited me for this production. So it meant a lot to me, to have his support then and to have his support now. So I shared this video with him in a message on Facebook, and I was like, it would mean a lot if you check it out, if you'd, leave a comment, share it if you feel like it, if you like it. And so I'm not on Facebook that much. I really don't like Facebook for many reasons. Xander's not on Facebook, but I was very excited to see that he had actually shared my video on Facebook. He has many Facebook friends, thousands of Facebook friends. So I was really excited that he did share my video, and he was like, great new song / video by the band Famous, and love you, Norell. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. Thank you for your support. How many people of those thousands of friends might love or hate this video? I was so excited that he cared enough to share it, until I looked a little bit closer and saw that he had done a custom share with his friends. And how many people, out of thousands of people, did he care to actually share it with and give a shout out and be like, love you, Norell? 2. Okay, 2 people, guys. It wouldn't be so Minnesota nice, if you will, if he hadn't, right before sharing that video track that, Xander and I worked really hard on and did completely on our own, without any label, without any funding, without meeting our Kickstarter. We've just been steadily at it, on the grind, and just dedicated and always trying to get better at mastering the crafts that we were doing. And so I thought that he was showing his support, but really it seemed very fraudulent to me, because at first glance it seemed like a public, hey, check it out, I'm proud to share this, but really it was something that probably would have been better suited to a private message. I have Messenger for a reason. If you don't want to share it with everybody, you can message stuff one at a time to a couple of people, and that's awesome, and I would be so grateful even for that. But to go to it seems rather manipulative, in my opinion, and you tell me what your thought is as a viewer if something like this has ever happened to you. But I felt it was a little manipulative, because it gave the sort of sense that he was showing support, but really he went out of his way to censor his post. And I make apps and I make websites, and automatically when you post something on Facebook, it's going to be garnered by default to share with either your friends list or the public, depending on your privacy settings. And so he went out of his way to customize this post and only share it with 2 people, which, you know, that says something. Either A, he doesn't think that the other thousands of people have the time of day or would care to even give it a glimpse or a moment of their time, or it's beyond them, or B, you know, he doesn't want to piss somebody off that he's friends with maybe by showing support. But that's a couple of options perhaps. Maybe you can think of a couple. But when I actually called out said friend, and I was like, you know, like, why would you go out of your way to only share it with 2 people on your wall? And then actually right before he did this, publicly sharing publicly to his thousands and thousands of friends, not bothering to censor out who may see it and cast judgment. Oh my. But he shared it to everybody on his friends list about this male rapper in the Twin Cities. And that's wonderful, and we're happy for that. But like, why is there that stark contrast? Is it, I don't know, does it have anything to do with because I'm a female in a predominantly male industry, or at least where most females, you know, in the music industry that are really getting any radio airplay or any publicity, any kind of thing that you associate with success and fame, if you will, in the music industry, are doing so, metaphorically speaking, bear with me, but they're doing so under the foot of someone else, meaning they have X amount of sponsorships and labels behind them, but under X amount of terms and conditions, they are abandoning their creative rights. They are abandoning their freedom to even speak or say on Facebook or Twitter whatever the bleep they want. They get censored to a key because of all of these engagements and contracts that they lock themselves into. There's pros and cons to going that route, and there is pros and cons to remaining an independent musician, which there are several successful independent musicians, and we are always working hard to be at our own level of success and keeping improving what we're doing and what we're sharing, which is why it means so much when we do get your feedback, guys, and when you do take the time to like give us a thumbs up and tell us if you like it or even if you don't like it, because that gives us feedback too, and it gives us another perspective. So we always welcome that. Oh, and also interesting to note that after I called him out for this sort of peculiar way of displaying his support for the video, and mind you, he didn't leave a comment on the video on YouTube either. I don't even know if he watched the video, because I reminded him that it was kid-friendly, because I thought maybe he's not sharing it because our last video was a little risque, promises, okay? It's a little risque, and there's a story to it. It's not all like sex and drama or whatever, but there's stuff to it if you actually get through that too. But regarding Lazer Eyes, I was like, hey, you know, this is kid-friendly, and I don't know why you went out of your way to share it and not share it, period, but only share it with a couple of people, but I just wanted to let you know. And he was like, oh, maybe the next video. So that was his comment, like maybe he'd share the next video, and I was like, okay, maybe the next video. Maybe the next one. So from Facebook to Twitter, we shared it with someone and didn't get any kind of response, any heart, any nothing, which is unlike her. She's usually favoriting our stuff or like showing us some love in some way or another. She kind of ignored us, maybe unintentionally, but we messaged her and wanted to know what she thought of the video. We cared to hear her opinion, get her perspective. But anyway, she got back to us in the message and she was like, oh, when I went to see it, I had to pay. And we were still confused because it's YouTube, and we even shared it as now playing free music, not for sale, and we're not selling this song. We wanted to release it just for free. It's sort of a tribute because of many reasons. It was very odd to me, and I don't understand why, but maybe the viewers will have some sort of insight to help me understand why that might be. One thing that I didn't anticipate with the release of Lazer Eyes was when we sent out the newsletter, we actually had an unsubscribe. I didn't anticipate to actually lose a subscriber who was a previous supporter who used to be quite a fan of TBF and an ally of TBF, someone who we thought was in our corner, but after our latest release, they unsubscribed from our newsletter, which they were previously getting for a while. I'm not sure what happened with that. So those are just a couple of examples of some of the complicated responses with this video. I just wanted to share that and see if there were any other viewers or even musicians or artists or anybody who's had a similar experience and how they responded to that experience, how it made them feel. Like, where do you think that comes from? Is it misguided energy? What is it? Is it jealousy? What is it? Is it intimidation? Is it some sort of desire for exploitation or getting some sort of benefit or some kind of return off of like some other like partnership, if you will? We're always looking for different perspectives, and it really helps us as an artist, and any artist, I would argue. I mean, would you disagree? Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Anybody watching this, let me know what your reactions and what your responses were to any independently released projects that you put out there. And let me know how you would react if you received the sort of reactions that we've received with our recent release. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and let me know your experiences in a comment below. Until next time.